Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear darling. I shall see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhallow today. I'll be relaxing as per usual. I'm sort of going around packing my stuff. I will say I've chosen, well, okay, at least the way I pack is basically I get everything out first, and then I put everything, figure out what I need, and to put it into the suitcase. I will say, I think the suitcase I'm using is like way too big for how many days I'm going away. But the thing is, I don't have a smaller one. I mean, it's not like absurdly huge. Like it's, oh, I'm just spitting water everywhere. Lovely. Anyway, hello everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow, 6:42 PM on Wednesday, October 16th, 2024. It's like, it's not, I guess it's not completely outrageous. I would describe it as, I would look at it and I'd be like, that would be like a pretty big computer monitor screen, or like a small TV sort of size. Like I don't know how far it is across, but I mean it's within the limitations that we have. But it's like I thought I had like a very tiny suitcase somewhere, like one which is like not half the size of this. That'd be too small to be honest. But certainly significantly smaller. Well, not significantly. I guess maybe like 80% the size of this. But you know, it's just sort of like, well, would I rather have a slightly too small suitcase, or would I rather have a slightly too big suitcase? I mean, I'll just probably slightly too big. Depending what you're doing, I suppose. We're not like going camping or anything, so. That is near issue. But yeah, I'm just sort of deciding, like, I'm only gone for like a few days, you know? Like over a weekend, it's not like I need that much stuff with me. But the only thing that I need to make a mental note of is the fact that we do require at least some sort of fancier clothes for one event, which I'm sure I'll talk about when I come back. As of this moment though, it's not happened yet, so who knows, it's all mysterious, it's all up in the air. But yeah, I don't know. I was going to say packing always a fun time. I guess it is. I mean, it's not bad. I'm not going to say it's the best part of a holiday. I think I've definitely passed that sort of thing where I'd be like, oh, you know, packing for holidays is the best part of a holiday, or the airport's the best part of a holiday. It's not really. It's just more like, I suppose, now I reflect upon it, it's not that bad. It's like liminal, but it's like it has that association with fun times on a holiday, right? Because it's like every holiday has that. What is going on my phone? I have no idea. But yeah, recording now because there's no not playing D&D today because I'm going on holiday like tomorrow, so not really enough time. But yeah, I don't know what I was going to talk about, to be honest. Anything else? Anything particularly interesting happen? I know that Pokemon League happened or whatever, which is pretty crazy. I think definitely the worst part about Pokemon League is the fact that a load of people's like personal details legit got leaked, right? That's like awful. It's just utterly horrible thing to happen. But I'm not going to talk about that. I'm not like a cybersecurity expert or something. I'm not going to comment on that. You know, hopefully that's something that something could be dealt with. People can get compensation for. I don't know legalese on how that ends up working out, but yeah, what was I going to say? I forgot. Oh yeah, well, I mean, we have like small comments on it about it, but I've not read the things in it, mainly because there's this ridiculous amount of information all about the things. But you know, I've heard like things here and there from basically just like social media. This is what I've like picked up passively via osmosis, social media osmosis, I suppose. I forgot what I was going to say about this. So I was just trying to sort of put together the things which I found out from this Pokemon League. Like, but there's two main things I feel like people are actually talking about, which, you know, the internet loves to latch onto certain things here and there. But the one, which is the main one, is there was like a water starter alternate. I can't remember who it was the alternate for. I think it was the alternate for Mudkip or something. Which I don't even know what it's called. Let's see. Hold on. Maybe I put Pokemon Leaks. Someone's compiled it together. I ain't reading the entire thing. Poke Leaks? Is this it? I don't really know. But if you don't know what happened, basically there was a huge amount of data got leaked, Pokemon, for like things that were going to be like parts of different Pokemon games, etc, etc, etc. I have not read it, but some people have, and you know, the distilled things which I've heard about is two things. One is that alternative Mudkip, which is like the water rabbit thing, and the other is about like Typhlosion or something. I don't really know. Hold on. Let's start with a more wholesome one. Water rabbit Pokemon. It has like it's not Azumarill. Oh yeah, there we go. The rejected water starter. Wallabito. Which I don't know how else to describe it except for it looks like an angry emoticon rabbit with a lifesaver tail. Well, I don't know. Torchic also had like these weird, like wing hair things. And people honestly have been absolutely enamored by it. People have made a wallaby. People have made so much like fan art of this sort of thing. I feel like I've seen this thing everywhere. But but the crazy thing about it is like people love it, but people love Mudkip as well. You know, would people be happy as this as like a alternative to Mudkip? I don't know. Mudkip I feel like is a very iconic Pokemon. Like, do you like Mudkips? As a whole meme in of itself. To think the fact that people are just like, oh yeah, and we're like, we're just replacing you, Mudkip now with Water Rabbit. It's pretty crazy because, like, I don't know. Like, which do I prefer? I think they're both cute. I think I do actually prefer Mudkip's look a little bit better. I don't have anything against Water Rabbit, to be honest. To be honest, it's probably just like an initial sketch, or it's like in the ideation phase. So you know, I think it's unfair to judge these sort of things. Which you know, I'll comment on afterwards, I suppose, as well. But I'm like, you know, I like Mudkip's final design just a little bit better, to be honest. There's also the other major thing which I've learned from Pokemon Leaks, which I'm not going to delve really much into, but the story, there's like one of the original ideas or something for like Mythos with Typhlosion is, you know, not great, I suppose. Wasn't great reflection on the character of Typhlosion themselves, but you have to bear in mind, one, it was based off like some Japanese yokai thing, so it wasn't like from nowhere. It just like it was based off some yokai. It was to do with basically like kidnapping a child or something, and you can look up the rest of it yourself if you really want to. But I will make a note here, which is something, you know, from reactions I've seen of some people here and there, not everyone, is that some people have seemed to taken this as like, oh, this is like the word of God or something. It's like, oh, this is originally what Typhlosion was meant to be like, and you know, it's for irreversibly like change their perspective on Typhlosion and made them hate Typhlosion. That's a bit much, I would say. But you got to bear in mind, these are work in progress things. Like this wasn't a leak of like the final version. You don't have leaks of a final version. You know what a final version is? It's the actual game itself. These are leaks of a work in progress. So work in progresses are I'm speaking from experience and speaking from like what I've seen on others. You chuck everything at the wall. Basically, you are just pushing the boundaries of literally everything. You're seeing what sticks. Some things are just jokes. Some things have actual like potential. Some things are just dead ends. Some things are just misconstrued. Some things were like just I don't know. Part of the like, if you ever done like a brainstorm of anything and you've seen like the wild and wacky stuff you might try and come up with, that's just how it is. That's just the nature of it, and it should be like that, because that's kind of what you're doing for a brainstorm, because you're meant to be generating like 1,000 ideas, because one of them is the best idea out of all of them, and you'll slowly figure out what that is, I suppose, by actually doing that. And it's sort of just like the you know, quantity of a quantity thing. If you just sort of like shotgun blast like a million different ideas, you'll probably get like a pretty good few of them here and there. Or you might be like, oh, that'd be something interesting to explore in a different avenue or a different thing like that. So like, you shouldn't be judging these things as leaks as if they were anything but, well, leaks. Anything but the just random things here and there. Anything about part of the progress towards getting there. Like, yeah. Yeah. I don't know where else I was gonna go with this. I guess like you could be here and you could talk about like leaks and that sort of thing here and there. Like I'm not gonna pretend that I'm gonna be hypocritical, be like, oh, I never look at leaks or something. Of course, I look at Genshin Impact leaks, I look at all the gacha leaks, just because I'm like I want to know what things will be coming out and what things won't be coming out. That makes it far easier to plan ahead and things. But what was I going to say about this? I feel like it's a very different story in this one, because that stuff is more like assets, I suppose, and depending on how much you engage with it, it's like how much you'll be spoiled, I suppose, of future content here and there, how much of an impact will happen. Like I don't like to read story leaks or spoilers or anything like that, but I do like to know which characters are going to be upcoming release, because it's much more pragmatic in that sense. This leak is very different in the sense that it's not only is it like work in progress leaks, but it's also which should not be held up to any sort of regard of as being reflective of a final form at all. They are work in progress for a reason. Work in progress can be anything from the 0th iteration to the millionth iteration, right? And if you don't have context on that, you don't have context, and things can be scrapped and changed over time. But definitely the main focus, which I feel like should be on these Pokemon leaks, is the fact that people's personal data just got leaked. That's horrific, very dangerous, and very horrible feeling, because for most of them it's probably through no fault of their own. I don't know if they've said exactly what happened. I think I heard it was a phishing attack, but I don't know if that might be hearsay, mind you, and I'm not about to be a proponent of spreading false information here and there. Yeah, so it's I guess I have two minds about it, because part of me is like, oh, it's really interesting to see the behind the work scenes. Like that's always a part, I think, of the creative process which intrigues me the most, more so than maybe the final product. Is like, how do they get to this final product? What work had to be put in? What things that you don't even notice, which is like big work, all that sort of things. That's like one of the main reasons I really liked voice acting as a concept so much when I was younger. I was like, I like seeing behind the scenes sort of like effort that had to go into producing cartoons and things like that. So I'm not going to say that people are bad for having a curiosity for having a peek behind the veil, behind the curtain, especially because Game Freak does not have like I don't think has like an art book of like unpublished Pokemon or things like that. But I guess the entire thing is just kind of overshadowed by the personal data leak, right? And plus, the thing I said before about people overreacting to things and taking it as gospel, I feel like that's not the majority of people. I feel like the majority of things I see are people just sort of running with it as a joke. But you always got to be a little bit careful, depending on what social media circles, I suppose, you spin around in. You might find some people trying to stoke a bit more, I'm not sure controversy is right word, stoke a bit more than they really should be. Yeah, so if anything, I suppose I'm glad that the majority of people are just being like, oh, this is like a really interesting sort of interesting peek behind the curtain, and then there's some also funny consequences which would have been really weird to think about had they actually made it into a final game. Good thing they were cut though. Is what I say. Like I think the Pokemon leak actually came out like a couple of days ago. Like I saw like the initial post on r/Pokemon or something when people spoke about it, and it was just like whoa. I saw the title and was like, that seems like a lot which is going on, but who knows? Actually, this is a good point. Let's see what's going on r/Pokemon. Some love to Typhlosion. Yeah. Like, some people take it as a joke, some people like take it as a serious joke, and some people take it definitely too far. So it's definitely all a bit about the place, I think. Who knew Typhlosion would have had so much attention, and there's also this rabbit with the lifesaver tail. Yeah, meme, lore cut from games is not canon? Absolutely not. If it was canon, it would be in the final version. I mean, it's a thing which sort of not just pervades this situation with Pokemon, but pervades a lot of things. Where even if Word of God, like, people like to take things as Word of God, like as canon confirmation, which is sort of like kind of here and there, but I suppose at the end of the day, it depends how much control the word of God, quote quote, has over the direction in something. I guess the situation is, imagine you're a creator and you just make like a fun sort of meme drawing or meme idea, or meme, I suppose, full stop, about two characters or like a headcanon which maybe you don't necessarily believe in. You've got to be careful with that sort of thing, I guess, at the end of the day, because there's a very rabid fan base who might eat that up and be like, whoa, this means, because the creator said it outside the actual work or fiction itself, it must be true, like it must be definitively true. And I'm just like, on my two minds, like, on one hand, like, I understand where it's coming from the creator itself. Of course you would like take out with much heavier weighting than just some random person theorizing it. But on the other hand as well, like, if it was as true, I guess I could put it like in the actual story itself. I guess it has to be like kind of relevant at the same time. But it's just, I don't know, headcanons and fan canons that remain outside of canon should have a distinct separation between them, or distinct understanding of a separation between them. So that's just what I mean to say. Typhlosion, that's not what Typhlosion was. That was just an idea that one person probably at one point came up with for the idea of Typhlosion, but it didn't stick because, people didn't like it. People didn't think it was a good idea for a multitude of different reasons. You don't know. You don't know what those business meetings are like when people are discussing the sort of things here and there. If anything, I think it's okay to have like this conflicted viewpoint, I suppose, on Leak in the first place, being like, wow, it's really cool, but two, also very unfortunate for the leaked personal data here and there. I suppose I am part of a problem, I suppose, by spreading it even further by commenting on it now, but I guess it is kind of everywhere, that's me trying to like wash my hands of blood. Well, I'm not sure blood is really the right word, wash my hands in the first place of whatever's going on, but it's just like I don't know. I guess I'm just trying to evaluate myself, because I was like, I have very mixed emotions about this, and then, I think mixed emotions is probably the right way to go think about it, Anyway, am I going to look up for rest of Pokemon leaks? Nah. I'm sure if there's anything else particularly interesting, someone will let me know. I think there was future game leaks as well, wasn't there? I don't know what's up with that, to be honest. I haven't actually played many a Pokemon game, if ever, for ages. Yeah, anyway, I'm going to round this episode off here because I have nothing really else to comment on. So if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons, and I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope to see each other again, but for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye-bye for now.